Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. The ocean is a graveyard. Beneath its waves lie the silent tombs of countless vessels, from ancient trading ships to mighty warships. For centuries, their stories were lost to the dark, cold abyss. But today, a new science is bringing these stories back to life. This is the world of forensic oceanography, a discipline that uses cutting-edge technology to resurrect maritime ghosts and reconstruct their final moments. It's not just about finding sunken ships, it's about a virtual resurrection, piecing together puzzles from the sea floor to understand not just how a ship sank, but what it tells us about the people who built it, sailed it, and in many tragic cases, perished with it. So how do we peer through miles of water to read the pages of history? It all starts with the digital toolbox. The first and most essential tool for finding anything in the vastness of the ocean is sonar, which stands for sound navigation and ranging. Think of it as seeing with sound. The most common type is side-scan sonar, which is towed behind a boat in a device that looks like a small torpedo called a towfish. It sends out fans of sound waves to either side, creating a detailed picture of the seafloor. It's perfect for scanning huge areas to spot anything that looks out of place, an anomaly that could be a wreck. Once a potential target is found, investigators switch to multi-beam echo sounders. These emit sound in a wide fan shape, gathering high-resolution data to create incredibly detailed, three-dimensional maps of the shipwreck and the seabed around it. This reveals the ship's exact position, how it's lying on the ocean floor, and how far the debris has scattered. But the real quantum leap in this technology is synthetic aperture sonar, or SAS. By digitally combining multiple sonar pings as the sensor moves, SAS can create images with a resolution up to 10 times higher than conventional sonar. We're talking about detail so fine you can see the individual wooden planks on an ancient galleon, or a piece of rigging lost in the sinking. This allows for not just discovery, but long-term monitoring, to see how a wreck is decaying over time. Once a wreck is located and mapped, it's time to get a closer look. This is where the robotic explorers come in. First up are the AUVs, or autonomous underwater vehicles. These are untethered, pre-programmed robots, essentially underwater drones. You give them a mission, release them, and they efficiently survey large areas using sonar and high-resolution cameras. They are the scouts, creating the big picture that guides the rest of the investigation. Then come the ROVs, or remotely operated vehicles. Unlike AUVs, ROVs are tethered to a surface ship, with a pilot controlling their every move in real time. This tether provides unlimited power and a constant data stream. ROVs are the surgeons of underwater exploration. Equipped with powerful lights, high-definition cameras, and robotic arms, they can fly through the corridors of a sunken ship, document every detail up close, and even collect small artifacts for study. The combination is key. The AUV provides the wide map, and the ROV conducts the detailed, hands-on investigation. Perhaps the most stunning result of this technology is the creation of digital ghosts, perfectly detailed, three-dimensional models of shipwrecks. This is primarily done through a technique called 3D photogrammetry. An ROV or AUV will take thousands of overlapping, high-resolution photos of the wreck from every conceivable angle. These images are then fed into powerful software that identifies common points and stitches them together, creating a photorealistic, fully interactive 3D model. This digital twin allows researchers to explore the wreck from their computers, measure parts of the structure with millimeter accuracy, and even plan virtual excavations without ever disturbing the site. In shallower, clearer waters, they can also use LiDAR, which works like sonar but with pulses of laser light, to create similarly precise maps. The combination of all this data, from sonar, robots, and photogrammetry, allows forensic oceanographers to build a complete, multi-layered picture of a shipwreck and its final moments. But how does this all work in practice? Let's look at some case files from the abyss. Our first stop is the most famous shipwreck of all, the RMS Titanic. Discovered in 1985, the Titanic has been studied for decades, but recent work has taken our understanding to a new level. A deep-sea investigation company used robotic surveyors to take over 715,000 photos and 4K video footage of the wreck. From this mountain of data, they created the most detailed 3D model of the Titanic ever produced. This digital twin has allowed researchers to virtually reassemble pieces of the hull and debris field. They've been able to confirm that the ship didn't just snap cleanly in two, but was violently torn apart. They can also identify individual artifacts, like a pair of shoes or a bottle of champagne, and trace them back to their original owners, adding a deeply human element to the science. From the modern era, let's travel back 2 millennia to the Antikythera wreck. Discovered by sponge divers in 1900, this 1st century BC Roman shipwreck yielded one of the most important archaeological finds in history, the Antikythera mechanism, now considered the world's oldest known analog computer. The wreck lies at a tricky depth, too deep for regular scuba divers but too shallow for large submersibles. Modern technology has cracked the case. Technical divers using advanced mixed-gas rebreathers can now spend more time on the site, while ROVs provide real-time support. These expeditions have created their own detailed 3D models, mapping the distribution of artifacts and even uncovering new treasures, including marble statues and the skeletal remains of a person who was on board, offering a direct link to the people on that ancient voyage. Now, let's turn to a wartime tragedy, the sinking of the RMS Lusitania. Torpedoed by a German U-boat in 1915, the passenger liner sank in just 18 minutes. The speed of the sinking was caused by a mysterious second explosion that happened moments after the torpedo hit. For decades, controversy swirled. Germany claimed the ship was secretly carrying munitions, which caused the second blast. However, modern forensic analysis tells a different story. By combining historical documents with data from ROV explorations of the shattered wreck, investigators have a new theory. The analysis suggests the torpedo likely struck a coal bunker. The impact would have thrown fine coal dust into the air, which was then ignited by a spark or the initial blast, causing a massive secondary explosion. In this case, forensic oceanography is rewriting the history of a pivotal event in World War I. Not all investigations are about discovery, some are about preservation. The USS Arizona, sunk during the attack on Pearl Harbor, is a sacred war memorial. Here, the goal is to monitor and preserve the wreck with the utmost respect. Researchers use a variety of non-invasive techniques. Divers take precise measurements, multi-beam sonar maps, the hull's condition, and small ROVs are sent inside to check water quality and corrosion rates. All this data is fed into computer models that predict how the wreck will deteriorate over time. This helps the National Park Service manage the site and ensure this solemn memorial is protected for future generations. While these historical cases are fascinating, the tools of forensic oceanography are also being used to address urgent, contemporary issues. A project, aptly named Forensic Oceanography, uses these techniques to investigate the deaths of migrants attempting to cross the Mediterranean Sea. Researchers combine satellite imagery, vessel tracking data, drift models, and survivor testimonies to reconstruct the final moments of these tragic events. Their work is used in legal cases and human rights reports to challenge policies and hold authorities accountable for failing to render aid. It's a powerful demonstration of how a field designed to uncover the past can be used to fight for justice in the present. Of course, exploring shipwrecks raises complex legal and ethical questions. Who owns a wreck? The traditional law of fines often clashes with the scientific goal of preserving underwater cultural heritage. International agreements like the UNESCO Convention and national laws like the U.S. Abandoned Shipwreck Act provide a framework, but disputes still arise. And ethically, we must remember that many wrecks are grave sites. Exploration must always be balanced with respect for the human lives that were lost. So what does the future hold? The field is evolving at a breakneck pace. We can expect more intelligent and autonomous robots capable of exploring deeper and more remote parts of the ocean. Artificial intelligence will help analyze the immense data sets, spotting potential wrecks automatically. And non-invasive techniques will continue to improve, allowing us to learn more without ever touching a wreck. Virtual and augmented reality will also play a larger role, allowing all of us to virtually dive on these sites and experience their stories firsthand. Forensic oceanography is rewriting our understanding of history, one shipwreck at a time. It's a field that combines the thrill of discovery with the precision of science, giving a voice to the silent ghosts of the abyss. And with so much of our oceans still unexplored, there are countless more stories waiting to be heard. Thank you for listening to Fun Facts Online.